Two families in Chesapeake have quite a story to tell after a hostage ordeal. Detectives accused 28-year-old John McNeil Sr. of the crime. It occurred at Rogers and Guerre Streets in the South Norfolk section. One woman was held hostage and 6 others in that house got caught up in the crime, but no one was hurt. 10 on your side's Katie Collette spoke with one victim, and Katie, she says McNeil is her ex-boyfriend.
That's right, Tom, and she refuses to call what happened here today a hostage situation. Well, she didn't want to go on camera. She tells me when McNeil came into her home, she was only frightened for the first 20 minutes. She said after that she was convinced that he was not going to hurt anybody inside that home. However, Chesapeake police say they had reason to believe otherwise.
My brother left out of the house around like almost 5 o'clock. The next thing I know, the officers was calling us, telling us to evacuate the building. I thought it was a joke. My brother's a prankster.
But when Edward Holmes got outside, he quickly learned this was no prank.
It was like full of squad cars and SWAT teams, and they took us out. They went and explained to us what was going on, anything.
Investigators say since 3 in the morning, 28-year-old John McNeil Sr. held a woman hostage while 2 other adults and 4 children were also in the home. The victim says McNeil came to the front door drunk and holding a hammer. Not long after, police arrived. The victim says McNeil's mother called 911 because he left her home upset and knew he was headed to his ex's place.
It was pretty intense for a while. Didn't know what was going to happen. Didn't want to see anybody get injured.
Al Ward watched the whole thing from his car. The streets filled with police, the SWAT team, and negotiators.
The cops said several times over a microphone for him to either come out or answer the phone, and evidently he wasn't answering the phone.
But apparently McNeil did get the message. Roughly 4 hours after it all began, 2 of the adults and the children inside walked out. One of those adults, Charles Jefferson.
He wasn't threatening to us at all, but he's just letting, he's sporadically nervous for himself. But because he was nervous for himself, he was talking chaotic and broken language. Around 8, the final hostage was released, and McNeil gave himself up. I feel great! I'm alive! Jefferson rejoicing that things ended peacefully. And while we were speaking with the ex-girlfriend, McNeil actually called while still in police custody and apologized to her for what happened here today. Meanwhile, Chesapeake police say they only charged McNeil with 1 count of abduction because they say they don't have enough evidence to prove the other 6 inside the home were held against their will. Live in Chesapeake, Katie Collette, 10 on your side.
And one of the victims told us McNeil had one very disturbing goal in mind when he got to the home. You're going to hear that part of the story new at 6.